So first of all, I'd like to just welcome everybody to this Monday event. My name is Sean Kozak, and on behalf of Tickblaze, I'm here to help you learn about Audible Orderflow. Say that 3 times. That'll be fun, right? So, the goal here for these presentations is to be able to expose you to the best of the best trading products that anybody could look to trade with, whether that's an indicator or a strategy or a signal system. And the Tickblaze marketplace is starting to make a massive transition for bringing cutting edge tools into the trader landscape. Now, this is a webinar for a launch. We are launching a product. This is a brand new tool. This has never been brought into the Tickblaze marketplace before, which is why it's so exciting. And during these events, we are recording them. We'll definitely send you a recording. You're going to want to watch this through and through. My team is here to help answer questions for those of you that have them, and please kind of keep them to the end of the presentation so that we can reserve the time that we need to go over them in detail. Okay. Now, let's get into this because, I just started talking here before we started the presentation about how many of you guys are looking at order flow. How many of you guys find order flow complicated? Just type a yes if you find order flow complicated. Like moving numbers up and down, like trying to figure it out. It's important, but like, how do I make sense of it? And then all of a sudden, just when you think you figured it out, damn, it got harder, right? So, what's interesting is that human beings, us, us species of human beings that we call traders, we're either a visual learner or we're an audio learner or we're both. And what we've done with order flow in the new Audible order flow is that we've built a tool that makes order flow trading literally like as easy as a 1-year-old could trade it. And to this date, this is what I would like to coin the most accurate signal indicator that we've ever built when it comes to trading signals. And I'll explain what I mean by that. Okay. We've been able to build a tool that allows us to extract the order flow data from the tape and turn it into both audible, which is hearing, and visual, which is seeing, and basically put it on the charts. Okay. Now, just a quick little preamble before we get into this. Maybe some of you have heard of other tools like Squawk Box or Tick Strike or any of these other products that are outside of trading platforms. The problem with this is that there's no way to actually validate the information. There was no way for us to go back and actually validate if the sounds or the information that we were hearing in the tools actually made money or there was any success behind it. And we just were not okay with it because we've seen so many traders wanting to be able to take Audible order flow and use it, but nobody knew if it was actually working. And then what we did was we built a tool to serve them all, and that we basically remove the need to use just tools that there's no evidence of success. And we've built a tool that not only can you hear it in real time, but you can actually go back and see the signals and you can actually see, wow, okay, like these are incredibly accurate. And let me just kind of sum that up. How many of you guys would like insanely accurate trading signals that are easy to trade? Yes or no? I know that's a stupid question. No stupid questions, but if I could give you one tool that you could put beside every single chart and it would always tell you when the big boys are stepping in and it's going to show you the actual results, yes or no? I just need to know where everybody's at because this is exciting for me. There's very few tools that I get excited about when it comes to indicators. This is one of them. Okay. Now, I'm not pumping that up. I'm just being straight with you. You are going to love what we're about to share with you. Now, we are in the financial markets. As I can tell you that there is no guarantee of success. Legally, I'm not allowed to promise you anything other than education and information. And anything else is your own decision-making, your own risk, your own tolerance. Please type a Y in the chat box. I'm not your advisor. CTA are here to give you advice or tell you what to do with your money. Also, I have no crystal ball. So obviously my results or any of those results of people on my team may or may not be typical to you. Yes. Fantastic. Appreciate that, guys. We all try to be as transparent as possible, but there are regulations that we must be mindful about. Now, the vision. Okay, we're going to talk about this. The vision was for us to build a tool that translates time and sales information, which is the tape, which is next to impossible to understand and read, which actually is the backbone to order flow footprint charts. Most people don't realize that footprint charts and order flow are ultimately tools that are coming from the time and sales, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to translate that information into two different diagram boxes. One of them is going to be this little cool color box that you see on the top. And I'm going to grab a cursor here. We're going to, give me 1 second here. So this little box right here is going to be your sound meter. And then what we're going to do down here is we're going to show you historical information of the tape. Like we actually built an oscillator that tracks the order flow so that you can see when the average order flow is within the average historical realm of the tape, or when all of a sudden, bam, the big boys are stepping in and they're getting ready to reverse the market. I have yet to see a tool in the world that does this. And I promise you the live examples are going to blow you away. And what's cool about this, what's really cool about this, okay, is that it's designed to be an add-on to everything you trade. Meaning you would literally have a chart. Like if you're trading whatever strategy you're trading, okay, whatever strategy you're trading, it doesn't matter if you're trading our strategies, your own strategies, or whatever. You put the timing chart beside whatever trading system, and then you watch the order flow come in, and it's going to tell you when your pullbacks and your reversals and your momentum trades are just going to work. And the reason this is so sexy is that it combines audible and visual cues. There's a lot of tools out there that may or may not bring you some squawk box, or they may give you some, feed to the exchanges, and nobody knows what the hell any of that means. It's just a bunch of rubbish. It's just a bunch of noise. What we've done is we've basically created a tool that allows you to visually backtest and see the accuracy of the sound, which is incredible. Okay, so let's get into it. So what we've done here is that we know that traders want to know in advance. So what's cool about this, and I don't like to use the term leading and lagging, and that shit's just jargon that everybody, likes to use from a marketing perspective. All I care about is if I'm looking at the hard right edge right here, right? And let's pretend this was not happening yet, right? And I had a way for the market, or if I had a tool that would automatically tell me, hey, Sean, like, right now, we've got massive, massive stuff happening inside the order flow. Expect a really, really big move. And then all of a sudden, we can see that this is the historical cue of the tape. This is normal information. All of a sudden, bam, stuff just floods the market. And then a result of that flood is, well, you can see it. Now, we're talking on small time frames. This is a 3-second chart. That's done on purpose. This tool is designed for you to use in comparison to any time frame or any bar type that you're using. And the reason for that is it's going to read the tape in a visual way so that you do not have to guess what's going on inside of the print. So if you're somebody that doesn't actually like using order flow, or maybe you're using order flow, but it's just freaking hard or next to impossible to understand, you're going to hear the aggression and you're going to hear the orders come in, but you're also going to see it and you're going to be able to prove the signal's accurate. Okay. Now let's go in and take a look at some more. So a lot of traders never get market timing right. And the reason they don't get market timing right is maybe they're fading a level, or maybe they're getting in a little too late or a little too early and they get stopped out, or they miss the move. What ends up happening is that traders normally will hesitate, or they won't really know when the optimal time is to execute, right? If you're trading a level or a pullback, you think you're making the right decision, but then a lot of times what happens, the market will ultimately have its own agenda, right? And what this does is it eliminates you from having to guess when the activity is happening, right? And I'll give you an example. Okay, and I'm going to give you 2 examples. Okay, we're going to talk about a reversal trader. Okay, and then we're going to talk about a trend trader. Okay, so let's say you've got a level of resistance right here. Okay, and the market's coming up and coming up and coming up. A lot of traders are going to just put their orders there. They're going to, like, you're going to put a limit order there, or maybe you might execute at market because you're getting excited and whatever the case may be. And then it just trades through it. And then it trades back down, and then it trades through it, and then it trades back down. And then all of a sudden something happens right here. And then all of a sudden, wham, it just goes in that favor, right? But you might have got stopped out here, maybe got stopped out again, thinking you're taking the next entry or whatever. But all of a sudden something happens right here, and then it just drops. Same thing here on a pullback. Maybe you're trading a pullback, right? And it comes back down, and you think you're going to buy the pullback, and then it just drops. And then all of a sudden something happens and it just rips. What happened here? Like, what happened here? That is the question. And we can all say, well, it was a liquidity sweep, or we could say, oh, well, it was just, they just needed to flush the market. All of us retail traders have some type of a term that we've all just decided to say that make ourselves feel better about the market, right? Like, oh, that's what happened. I see that, right? I do it too. Like, oh, they're just doing this, right? But at the end of the day, we don't freaking know. We really don't know what's happening, other than it's a collective sum of all orders going on in the markets. And then somebody that has enough power to do something steps in and moves the market, right? Well, that's exactly what this is. That's exactly what this is on a very small time frame, right? This might be the reversal level right here. Like, take a look at this. Might be the reversal level that you're seeing on like a 1 minute or a 5 minute chart. You can see that like there's a lot of resistance here. That might just be the high of a 5 minute bar. And then all of a sudden it pushes through, and then we get the surge. And that's where the move starts, right? And then there's support right here, right? They sweep the lows, and then they come in and surge, and then the market comes up. So rather than just putting your market or putting your orders or putting any type of like decision in place, you don't actually need to do that. This tool, what this does is it allows you to have it beside every single chart that you're trading, and you can watch the tape visually to see when the market's going to do what it's going to do. And not only you get to watch it, you get to hear it. It sounds like a fighter jet. We're gonna play some recordings. You're gonna hear it. It sounds like one of those military helicopters, like those. Like, and it's so sexy. Like, what we've done is it, I just can't wait to share the videos. You're gonna love it. You're gonna just love it. Now, why is this so cool? Well, because footprint charts are hard. And dome trading is like, it's hard. I've been trading for 15 years. Like, you got to be a really, really good trader to trade the dome. And you got to be a really experienced trader to master order flow. You do not need to be a good trader or experienced to use this for extremely good accuracy. And that's the difference, right? That's the difference. Now, it works on any bar type. It doesn't matter. You could, you want to go down very small because it's reading the time in sales, and you could trade the very small time frames. We've looked at it on a 5 second, 15 second, 20 second, 30 second charts. But as you start to get up in the time frames, it eliminates the point of the software. The software is not meant to be a time frame chart. It's meant to tell you when the banks are stepping in and getting ready to shift the market. And you're going to hear it and you're going to see it, right? It is the most accurate leading tool that we've ever built. Like, because it's not an oscillator, it's an order flow tool, and it's reading the tape as it's coming into the market. Okay. Does everybody understand that? Give me a yes. I see your questions, but we're going to answer them after. I want to make sure you guys get it. Okay. Now, here is what I call, I don't like using the Holy Grail because I think it's a bunch of bullshit to say that. But what I will tell you is this is the next best thing to understand this with order flow. So this is a picture, and I took this from a long time ago, and it demonstrates a really good topic. And I just want to share something with you, because here's an example of an order flow chart. Okay. And the reason it doesn't matter what order flow, it could have been ours or anyone else's, or it could have been any platform. It doesn't matter. But order flow is order flow. And we're going to talk about this for a second. Let's say you got a support level here. Okay. You got support right here. Market's coming down. Boom, 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 boom. And then all of a sudden, okay, we get a ton of basically order flow imbalances. If you're an order flow trader, you're going to see that. You say, oh, the sellers are stepping in. The sellers are stepping in. And then all of a sudden, it just does this, and it rips the other way. What order flow doesn't do is it doesn't tell you resting limit orders in the book. So what happens, you get all of this order flow activity in the footprint charts, And everybody thinks it's aggressive selling, but what it is, it's actually buy orders sitting there pending on the limit. And then all of a sudden the market picks that up in the order flow footprint charts, and it appears to be market orders, but it's actually not. It's the complete opposite. So all of the order flow traders get juked out because they can't tell the difference between aggression and absorption. And this is the holy grail to order flow analysis. Like if you had a tool that could tell you when the market's hitting limit orders versus aggressive market orders and be able to see that in real time, that would be the best thing that you could ever possibly ask for inside of a tool. That would be kind of like having some form of like Gandalf's staff or crystal ball to be able to see what's going on, because order flow traders come in and you see all this buy aggression coming in here on the longs in an area of resistance, and then all of a sudden people, oh, the buyers are going to go up, and then all of a sudden, wham, they get slammed down. And why? Because nobody can tell the difference between what's resting inside of the depth of market when looking at the charts. Even order flow traders can't see that. And so what we did, and this is what makes this so sexy, is what we did was we built a tool to flip the tape. And therefore, what we're able to do is we flip the time and sales inside of the software at the time when aggression would be limit. And this is what makes Audible Orderflow so amazing. Watch this. We have two modes, okay? And watch what happens. This is critical, guys. We have aggression that will tell you when the market is flooding the orders. We have a setting that you can turn it to either aggression or flip the tape. Aggression will be used when the market just pumps. They come in and they just slam the market down, okay? But here's the key. All of the order flow traders will think that this is aggression, and they're going to get stopped out. And they're going to get stopped out because what they don't realize is that it's absorption, limit orders hitting the bid. And so what we do is we stop you from getting faded. We flip the tape and we detect when that's happening. So we have the ability to turn a setting on inside of the software that will detect absorption. And anybody in here that is looking at support and resistance levels or areas of interest, meaning like a pullback or a trend line or a supplier demand zone or a support level or resistance, what you want to do is you want to have flip the tape turned on so that anytime you get to support and you see this, you know that that's the limits getting triggered for big buyers. If this was resistance, same thing. And we're going to show you examples of this so that you can, like, this is the best thing since the history of trading software. Like to be able to see this in real time and have it turned on. If you're somebody that looks at any area of interest, whether that's an EMA, an area of interest, a support and resistance, market structure, trend lines, range highs and lows, value area highs and lows, volume profile levels, point of controls, what you get to do is you flip the tape on, and you get to see that absorption, and you don't have to get stopped out. You get to trade where the smart money's flipping the tape. Okay. Does this make sense to you? It is hands down the most sophisticated tool you can ever have for reading the tape, period. Like, we tried to find it. When we couldn't find it, we had to find a way to build it. And we did. And that's exactly what this is. So give me a yes that this makes sense. This is not an algo. This is not an algo. This is reading the time and sales. Okay. Now we're going to go in. You're going to hear it. You're going to read it. So the solution, okay, the solution is that we needed a way to be able to hear the tape, but also see the tape. Hearing it is good. Seeing it is better. Hearing it and seeing it together is a gift. And why? Because we actually will listen. Our brain absorbs information differently from audible cues. But if you can't see it, it's hard to translate that. Vice versa. If you see it, but you can't hear it, your brain may not cue into this. And so what we did was we built a real-time tool that basically gives you buy and sell signals as the orders are coming in visually and from an auditorial state. And we track up to 8 markets inside of the queue. You can track all of it. What's really cool is you could have this across, like if you have 4 markets like the S&P, the NASDAQ, the YM, and the Russell, and you see them all hitting the selling or the buying at the same time, you can expect massive reactions, because what's happening is all of the markets simultaneously are stepping in on the bid, and you're going to see this, and you're going to see this on the chart. You're going to see it visually because the audio is going to get you excited, but the visuals are going to prove the cue. And so let's talk about this. So like you can't deny what you're seeing here. Like you can't deny the signals. You can't deny that this stuff is not accurate. You can't deny that. By when you see the market orders and the limit orders getting hit when you flip the tape, you're going to be able to see for your own self when we run the videos and we run it how this works, because what it's doing is it's what's creating the moves. In order for this to move on a 1-minute chart or a Renko chart, something had to happen here. Our software detects it so that in the moment, at that time, you're able to take actionable results right now, because what's happening is it's on a timing chart. So what happens is you hear it super quick, you get time to enter, you get time to be right on the right side of the market. Now, we're reading the time and sales, and you're going to hear the spikes. Every time the order flow spikes in the tape, you're going to hear it, and then you're going to see it visually on the charts. And what'll happen is, depending on if you're in a directional market, so this will be a great example, you're going to have 2 different scenarios, okay? You're going to have scenario 1 and you're going to have scenario 2. Scenario 1 is you're going to be a momentum trader or a directional trader. Scenario 2 is you're going to be a reversal trader. The software works in both ways. What it's designed to do is, whenever you're in a situation where you know the market is in a trending state, you know you're in a trending market, you know the market's trending, you guys can all determine this, okay? What you want to do is you want to turn momentum on. So as the market's trending and all of a sudden, bam, you hear it and you see it, you get in for the long and it rips, right? On a reversal, you always use the flip the tape mode. Whenever you're at a level of support or you're at a level of resistance, you flip the tape. And whenever you see it come in, that's your cue. What's nice is you do not need order level 2 data. It's only level 1. We're pulling the data from the time and sales, okay? Now, the reason this is critical is because people try to do this in the dome. Like all of the dome traders out there, they try to do this. They think they can see it. They think they can interpret it. I'm here to tell you that that is not true. Like, you may be a great dome trader, but you'll never outpace the time and sales. You can't. The time and sales is king. The time and sales is the receipt book to the market. It's the backbone to all flow that represents execution. And the time and sales is the liquidity book that executes. And all the people in the dome, they try to read the orders. They try to read it. They can't. They can make sense of it once in a while with like a volume histogram, but they're not going to be able to interpret real-time flow coming into the market, because that just happens. And so what we've been able to do is we've been able to take all of that pressure off, because you don't need to be a great trader to see this. All you need is to, green buy, red sell, listen, boom, and it's right there. And a lot of people say, well, that's impossible. Like, well, how can it be so easy? It's not easy. This took us years to code this. This took us a long time to build this. This was not an easy thing to build. It's an easy thing to use, and it's an easy thing to trade, but it was not an easy thing to create. Let me promise you that. Like, it took a lot of time to understand how to flip the script inside of the tape and being able to see that. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go into this. And so, like, you can see this, like you can see that, like, when the orders come in, what's so unique about this is that we can see that this is the normal pace of the market right here. This is the normal pace. And every time we get outside of that, that's when the magic happens, right? Like, that is when the magic happens. And it's on a 1 or a 5-second chart. So if you're trading like on a 1-minute time frame, you just have this over on the side. Like, you don't need to enter on the 1-minute bar prematurely. You could let the 1-minute bar do its thing, going up and down and up and down, and it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. All of a sudden, your timing star goes brrr. That's when you take the short on the 1-minute bar. You just wait for the market to tell you when it's time, because the tape will tell you when it's time. Always. In fact, in the old days, that's where all the best equity traders would trade, would be they try to read the level 2 in the tape. They try to read the time in sales. The old prop shops would do that. And then everybody moved to a chart, right? Because back in the day, all they had was the tape. And now we're here to bring the two together, and you're going to see why it's so powerful. Now, one of the reasons why we built this was because I used tools, and I'm not here to share any negativities about other. Listen, if anybody's going to build a tool for traders to try to make better money, my hat goes off to them, because development is not easy. However, when we use tools like Squawk Box or Tick Strike or any of these other tools that were representing sound in the market, I felt like it was gambling, because every time you would literally hear it, you would get excited, but you had no way to go back and visually backtest or see when those sounds actually worked. And so there was a time years ago when actually we used those tools inside of some of our educational rooms and such, but we could never validate if there was any success to it. And so why we built this was because now we can actually go back and see, wow, like, look at these levels, look at the impact these tools have, and it removes any type of skepticism. Like for myself, I need to be able to see that something works in order for me to trade it. And if I can't see that, there's no way I'm ever going to put risk capital on the market if I can't believe in something. How many of you guys would agree? Like, why would you ever use something if you have no way to ascertain that it actually has an edge or not? Right? Like it may sound good in theory, but if I can't show you the signals and I can't show you the proof, why would anybody use something like that? Give me a yes if that makes sense to you. With this software, you get both. You get to be able to hear it, you get to see it, you get to trade it, but you get to do it all at the same time, which allows you to be able to back test the audio of the market. Okay. Yes, you could use this on 5-minute sweeps. You could use this on 30-minute sweeps. You just want to use it on a timing chart that basically it tells you when to enter the market. This is designed as an execution tool. This is designed to show you exactly when to buy or sell. This is not some theory. Look at the trends. Look at no, this is literally, this is where you buy. This is where you sell. Okay. Okay, so this is why everybody gets excited for this type of stuff, because it very rarely comes around. This is one of those tools that will tell you exactly where to buy or sell with a very high degree of accuracy, right? Which is what everybody normally asks for. It's just very hard to build. Okay, so a couple things, okay, is a lot of traders always say, well, hey, Sean, like, you know, if I could pick one or two tools, like, which one would it be? Well, first, before we ever tell you what to do or what to use or how to trade, the key here would be, well, what are you struggling with, right? Like a lot of traders are going to look at, they don't know where to enter. Like a lot of traders enter completely at the wrong times or in the wrong locations. They get stopped out. Or a lot of traders have a hard time with understanding when or why to enter, right? Because they're reacting a lot. And that's not something that's unnormal. Like a lot of people are going to have that problem because trading is freaking difficult, right? Like it's actually quite complicated. And in fact, even really smart traders who are really intelligent come from very educated backgrounds and career paths. They come into trading and it's still extremely difficult for them. So the key here is that the reason this was built is to eliminate the guesswork. Like, you don't guess something when you can hear it and you can see it. It's coming in the market. And there's no like, oh, this indicator here or this oscillator. This is not an oscillator. This is not a MACD or an RSI or a trend line, or this is not anything. This is literally, we've took order flow and we created visualization of the tape. If you really want to kind of summarize this entire aspect down here is the time and sales. And what we've done is we've been able to turn the time and sales into a queue. We've basically built statistical baselines that tracks the order flow. So when shit's getting weird or extremely aggressive or completely getting ready to step in and do something, we can detect it, we can see it, we can visually prove it, and we can back test it. Okay. And this is what makes this exciting. Okay. Now we're going to get into this and show this to you, but how many of you guys would like to see some examples? Give me a yes if this is kind of exciting. It was exciting for us when we built it, but how many of you guys are excited to see this? It does not work with TradingView, Witty. There's no way to do this type of development on that type of a platform. It's too advanced for this. Certain platforms can enable you to do certain things, right? So let's do it. Let's go in and take a look at this. So I'm going to turn on my audio because you need to hear it. Okay, I'm going to play some things here for you, okay? So let's play this. Can everybody hear that? Now let's go back here for a second. Let's pause it. This is the audio meter up here. Okay, this is the audio meter up here. Okay, so what this is, you can see the MES is tripping the threshold. This basically tells you the threshold. If it breaks the threshold and it gets out here, shit's getting real. Okay, and what's going to happen is you're going to start to hear it before you start to see it. And then as soon as you hear it, you're going to start to see it. And that's the whole point. It's the fun part about this. Let's run this. Now, this is a momentum trade. It's directional. It's designed. It's turned on to be. And you're going to see when you started hearing that, it started right here. Okay, so let me just grab this. When you started hearing the sound, it was right here. And then they just kept flooding the market. Now I get people saying, what time frame? Okay, we use it on timing charts, second charts, 3, 5, 1, 10, because this is not the execution. Now I know there's been times where you could execute on this. You could trade this chart. You could actually trade this chart if you truly wanted to. It's just, this could be inside of a 1 minute bar. The bar is going sideways like this. This could be the 1 minute candle, 1 minute candle, 1 minute candle. And then all of a sudden you hear it, boom. And then the bar starts to drop and the candle starts to, that's the whole 1 minute candle dropping. And that's the whole point. Now you can turn the sound off and you can do a whole lot of other things. Yes, we can get into all that after. You can turn that off on the platform. You can just use it as a visual cue, right? But the whole point of having sound and visual is to do both, right? So watch. And then it just stops. Okay, you can see that. So let's go and let's do another example, okay? So here's another Momo long. So the market's trending long, okay? The market's trending to the upside. And this might be just a couple big bars on a 1 minute or a 5 minute chart, right? That's the whole point. And then all of a sudden, and then bam, ripping. Now let's stop for a second, okay? If you're somebody trading the one and done, how many of you guys are trading the one and dones in here? Okay. Okay. Well, the sounds can be changed, so we'll talk about that. But so here's the key, okay? Let's say you're trading the one and done, and this is a 5 minute candle, right? And it's going up and down and up and down, and then this candle closes here like this, right? And there's the high of the one and done. That's the 5 minute range. And the candle opens and it starts trading and then you get up to here, and all of a sudden that is what's happening on your timing chart as it's breaking through the one and done. That is the whole point. It is designed to give you that confirmation of it's happening, like the orders are coming. And here's the thing, here's the normal time in sales. And then all of a sudden, stuff's going on. And that's the whole point, is it is the absolute best confirmation or visual and audio cue for execution. Like if you're going to enter and you've got momentum turned on in the software and you're trading a breakout, or you're trading a one and down opening range trade, or you're trading anything, you could be using this on a trend breaker, right? The trend line's like this. You get the trend line going like this. And then as the market's breaking the trend, okay, what ends up happening is you get all of a sudden inside of the 1 second chart, and that's the trend that breaks, because this is the fuel that you're waiting to confirm the trade. Okay, so just a great example. Okay, let's do another one. So here's another Momo long. Let's take a look here. I'm just gonna make sure. There it is, Momo short, Momo long. And let's do another one. Okay, so here it is. I think that's one we just did. Give me a second here. There it is. Let's do another one. This is a great example. Another Momo long. I just kept filming all the live examples. I want to show you this. Now, this is a great example of the absorption. This is turned on to momentum. So this would have been a flip the script. If we had this flipped, this would have been an absorption level that we would have checked. And this is a setting inside the software. So this is why when you have momentum turned on, you want to see direction. If you're trading reversals, you want to have the setting turned on. We're going to show you how to do that. Okay. Just give me a second. We're going to show you that. Okay. Let's take a look at this. There's the flip, or there's the Momo just coming in. Big orders coming into the tape. And then it just keeps ripping. Okay. Now you can see the orders coming in here. Okay. It just keeps coming in. Now I'm going to pause it for a second. Okay. So let's take a look at this. This was a level of resistance right here. That maybe that was on a 1 second. Maybe that was your opening range. I don't know. I mean, it could have been anything, right? I'm just giving you an example of how this works. Maybe this is a 5-minute candle going up and down and up. But then as it breaks, you get the sound of this cue, and it sets the tone for the entire move. You don't need to get in after the signals. You're going to be getting in at the beginning of the signals, and this is the point. And this is the whole point of the visual and the audio. Let's go to another example here. Okay, we're going to do another example. Now, these are all directional settings. We're going to do reversals next. Okay, now we're going to do the next one. Give it a second. Perfect. Okay, let's do the next one. So let's do another Momo short example. This is a directional momentum play, okay? Remember, these are timing charts, so these are just meant for you timing. You can see the historical in the tape. Okay, this came here as a directional play and it dropped. We'll give it time. We're going to watch this. Does everybody hear that? Sounds like an Apache helicopter going through the storms. Right? So let's go now and let's talk about another example. I think this is the one we already looked at. We already looked at this one, but we're going to do it again. Let's do the next one. Flip the script. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip the market. And what this means is we're going to basically take the time and sales and we're going to reverse the logic of time and sales. And the goal is that whenever we get to areas of interest and you have the flip mode turned on, that you would only use this if you're trying to time the buy and sell signals. Okay. And so a good example is this is a long example. So whenever we're at an area of support, we want to look for the flipped long environments or the flipped short environments. So we're going to watch the market come down. It's going to trip the executed limit orders, and we're going to detect absorption without having to use order flow charts, without having to use complicated things. You're going to hear it, you're going to see it, and it's going to be amazing. The market's coming down into an area of support. It's taking out the lows. It's hitting the absorption in the tape. It's a great example of a sweep right here off the low that happened over here. Okay. And this will be the exact example of when the market sweeps the lows, takes those limit orders, which is basically hitting the stop loss orders, which is basically reversing the tape, creating buy stops or sell stops, which basically acts as limit orders on the book, and then all of a sudden rips it up. And now, so here's my my experience. I'm going to share with you my experience. Okay, is that if you're to say, Sean, what should I use this software for right out the gates? Flip the script. Like, don't even like momentum trading is great on breakouts. If you're trading breakouts, one and done breakouts, these types of things, but most traders are looking for really, really low risk areas to time this. A good example is on a 1 minute chart, a 1 second chart. This is the pullback on the 1 minute chart. And then this is going to give you the timing chart. Like this is all happening potentially inside of a 1 minute bar. Okay. And here's the critical part, right? Like this is your 9 period EMA. And this is what I'm saying is like, this is a timing tool. Let's say you got your trading charts right here, right? And you got your 1 minute time frame and the market's doing this and it's doing this and it's doing this. And you got a 9 period EMA or whatever the case. All of a sudden, boom, you hear this on your little timing chart that you've got over here on the market. And then all of a sudden, that's your cue. That is your cue to get in because this is when the market's telling you it's time. The tape is telling you it's time. And this, you're not going to get anything more accurate than this. I can promise you this. There's nothing that I've ever seen in the history of software development that is more accurate for timing entries than this software. I'm just going to show you example after example. Seeing is believing in this regard. Okay, let's take a look. Another example. Does it work with striker levels? Absolutely. I just don't have them set up here, Patrick. I'm sorry. I don't have that set up here. It took a lot of work to film all this and get this ready for today's presentation. The amount of work it goes into filming live trading execution in real time. These had to be filmed in live, right? This had to be filmed live. Yeah. The reason for it is market replay has not been set up yet on Tickblaze yet. So we're adding that feature into the platform. So this all had to be done live. Take a look at the accuracy of that. Like when you flip the script, take a look at the accuracy. Let's take a look at this. Okay, let's do another example. Here's another example of flip long. So watch the tape. Here it is. Boom, 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 boom. Taking out the lows, sweeping liquidity on that low right here. And look at this is just on a 1 second on the NASDAQ. It's not, you're gonna see that that's the orders coming in. It's gonna lift the bid. Maybe you need to check your eyes, Thomas. They're definitely green. It's green right there. Yeah. And it has to go past the threshold. Take a look at the lift. When you see this, right? When you see this, you hear it, it shows it. That is the lift. And it's happening at an area of support. That is critical. That is critical for you to see this. Okay. So let's take a look at the next one. Let's take a look at this one. Take a look at the short. So this was an example of the long. Came down here. Now we're going to turn it on to the short. Give it in 1 second here, guys. This is flip the short. So it's coming in. Sellers are stepping in, flooding the tape. And bam, it's going to drop. Because that's exactly what the software does. It predicts massive buying and selling locations. You could have two charts running, one and the other. Absolutely, yeah. One of our DevOps managers trades this on the 1 second chart. Like he just trades this. He has this on. He's like, I won't trade without this. I look at this. Like you cannot deny what your eyes are seeing here. This is literally the order flow coming into the tape, flooding the book with massive sells and massive longs. It's on a 1 second chart. So you could be scalping this. Yeah. Yeah, you won't have fear. You won't have a reason for fear of loss or FOMO or regret because you're going to wait for the sound. The sound will be the cue because the sound's going to give you the cue to make a decision. That's why it's called audible order flow. Okay, audible order flow. Now here's a big one. We're going to do 2 back-to-backs. Okay, we're going to do longs and shorts. Okay, this is, how many of you guys think this is amazing? Like you can't deny it. Now remember, this is flip the script. So we changed the settings here. We changed the settings because this would have been for momentum signals, and this is why we changed the settings, right? You have to understand that if you have the settings wrong in the wrong conditions, the book's not going to work. That's why we have flipped the script, okay? So we're going to talk about this. Let's go. Buyers are coming in. You can see the green racing stripes. Order flows are coming over the historical expectation. So you're going to see how, look at where it stops the market. Like it was the little bit of a push up that lifted that entire leg, right? Like something had to come in and step in to change that. Like this is a scalper's dream. This is a day trader's dream to be able to have this. Look at the lift from that buy signal. And then the sells come in. That could be your exit cue. If you were long, that would be definitely time to get out of the trade. Or if you're not long, you get short and you take the trade. Right? Like this is the whole point. Like this could be used just as an exit tool. Like if you're somebody that's in a trade, you just want to know when to get out of trades, like take a look at the drop. Like you can't deny what's happening. When you hear the noise, we put a visual cue so you can see it, and then it lifts, and then you hear the noise, we get a visual cue, and then it just drops, right? And maybe this is a 1 minute chart. Remember, this is a timing chart. So you have literally here, and maybe this is all just a 1 minute candle, but this gives you the cue to buy in that 1 minute candle. And this gives you the cue to sell in that 1 minute candle. Do you understand what I mean? Like that's the whole point. And this is meant, remember, this is an audible order flow timing tool that is meant to go beside any market that you're trading. If you're trading on a trending chart or a breakout chart or one and done or trend breaker or whatever you're using, you put this beside every single chart, you'll never look at the market ever the same ever again. Why? Because it's going to tell you when you should be getting and getting out, right? It works. Here's the thing, Woody. It's not supposed, this is what, let me explain this. This is where I had to do my own, when we built this, naturally the mind wants to go to the time frame that you're trading on, right? Like a 1 minute or a 5 minute or a 30 minute. None of that's actually relevant for this. Because if, let's say you're trading on a 5 minute chart, right? And you got a level of support here, right? And the market's coming down and it's coming up and coming down. And all of a sudden you're getting ready to buy here, right? But you're on a 1 minute chart and the 1 minute's going up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And you still haven't made a decision to buy yet. But you have your timing chart over here. And all of a sudden this happens. And you're inside of that bar. That's what you do. You that's when you buy, or that's when you sell, depending on the situation. Because it's not supposed to be on your 1 minute or 5 minute or 15 minute chart. This is supposed to be telling you this could be the level, and this is the 1 minute bar going up and down, and that's when you buy, because that's when the orders are coming in. Okay. So the goal here is to decide, and this is my biggest suggestion. There's two types of traders. There's trader one and there's trader two. Okay. Trader one is momentum. You're either going to look to go long or short based on direction or breakouts, momentum or breakouts. And then trader two is reversal. So it all starts with, and this is for anybody that would ever have questions on how to use it or how to make the best use of it. You first need to decide, am I trading a breakout or a directional setup, or am I trading a reversal? It is the most important thing you do. So first thing you do is, am I going breakout or reversal? And then the second one is, use this information for timing. That's all you need to do. You don't even need to be, you don't have to be anything miraculous to make the software extremely easy to use. It's designed to be insanely easy to use. Yeah. You don't need to look at another trick. Great question, Thomas. Thomas, like, do you need to? Well, the 1 minute's fast, but it's not, doesn't necessarily, the 1 second is fast, but I mean, I have people on 5 seconds, 15-second charts using it. Yes. Yeah. 30 seconds would probably be the biggest, which would be incredible for trend breaker trades. Yeah. And if you're trading the opening range or anything like that, this would be insanely valuable for breakout confirmations. Yeah, insanely valuable. It'll tell you when it's being faked out or it's breaked out. Yeah. Does it make sense? So the biggest problem that I find with order flow is it's hard for most traders. So most traders either buy the software, never use order flow, or they buy it thinking they're going to master it and then they never get it. Some traders become great at order flow and the rest don't. They normally try to stay to more simple tools, right? I try to identify problems, and most traders have a very hard time with really, really good accurate signals. Like, where do I buy? Where do I sell? Show me where to get in, where to get out, right? So what we did was we tried to create a tool that visually takes the tape and it allows you to hear it, it allows you to see it, and it allows you to trade it. Okay. And essentially that's what Audible Orderflow is. It basically removes the need for you to have to be a market wizard to be able to do this stuff. And you could literally use this with any time frame, any market, any indicator, any strategy. It's designed to create impeccable accuracy. Yeah. Give me a yes if that makes sense to you guys. Yes? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over pricing. Okay. We're going to go over pricing and we're going to go over questions. Before we go over pricing, I'm going to give a draw. We always give a draw on launches. And James, we do have plans to automate this. Yes. Yes, we do. Once the algo engine's finished. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. We will automate this software. That is absolutely certain. Yeah. So let me go in. I'm going to run a poll. Audible order flow is not gamma exposure, Victor. No, it has nothing to do with gamma. It has everything to do with time and sales. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a poll, and this is going to be open for 1 minute, and you have to put your name in the draw to win. If you win or if you purchase and you won, we'll refund the purchase, right? So just 3, 2, 1, go. If you'd like a free license, yeah. We will put you in the draw. We always give away in these launch events because it's a big opportunity to Lady Luck's on your side, right? Yeah. Fantastic. If we can help somebody get something for free, right? Well, we don't know when that's happening, Deborah. Yeah, I don't have a timeline when we're automating these algos. Yeah, it's there's a lot of stuff that's being done on the Tickblaze platform right now that is going to be revolutionizing algorithmic trading in and of itself, just with the algo engine and the new testing infrastructure. So I don't have an actual time frame. It could be a while. Yeah. Fantastic. Okay. 3, 2, 1, done. Okay. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to go over the price. Did you guys find this useful? Yes or no? How many of you guys look at this and say, wow, okay, like, like, I just want to know where you guys are at on this. And, you know, if you guys enjoyed the presentation, if Dan says, wow, I love it. Yes. Westlow, yeah. If you're somebody that is looking to master market timing, and have direct buy and sell signals on your chart without ever having to trade anything other than this is it. You could use it with order flow signal pack. Yes, you could use it with everything. There's nothing like it. No, there's nothing like it. No. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the pricing with you guys, and then we're going to go over Q&A. Okay. A follow-up. So Brandon, I know you've got here, we've got a fair amount of people that are requesting callbacks. So if you could do me a favor and just make sure these guys are taken care of, that'd be great. How many of you guys have had a chance to talk to Brandon? Type a Y in the chat box. He's pretty much the best there is when it comes to communication. Yeah. Great guy. Great call. All right. Yeah, not a problem. Just put your answers there. Number 2, just put your name and your phone number in there. If you need a phone call, if you need someone to call you today, just make sure that you answer your phone today and you're available, because they will be calling you today. Maybe Brandon, if you can introduce yourself to all the new traders in here, because you're the one that they're going to be hearing, that'd be great. I don't know if you have a mic or not.
Yeah, for sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Brandon, and I work with the sales team. So once you put your information in, I'll give you a call and answer any questions you may have.
Perfect. Thank you, Brandon. All right, guys. So enjoy the rest of your day, and make sure that you get back to us with any questions or any help that's needed, and we can help you guys get up and running. Take care, traders, and have a fantastic day. Are you going to send an email for the AMA? Yes. Yeah. As long as you purchase the software, you'll get access to the AMA. Yeah. We only send it to those that buy the software. Yeah. Perfect. Excellent. All right. All right. So take care, traders, and we'll see you on the flip side. Enjoy the rest of your day. Happy trading.